back to my channel. It's your beautiful baby girl Khemzy. Or if you're new to this channel, you're welcome. My channel is all about relocation tips, life abroad and faith. And if you're a returning subscriber, you guys are the best. Thank you for always watching my videos back to back. In today's video, I'm going to be explaining the important documents needed before and after you get a care job. I'm also going to be giving you tips to a successful visa application. Are you ready, guys? Come on and let's get into the video. The very first document you need is an international passport for obvious reasons, guys. Without a passport, you can't even travel. So this is very important. Before you even start your job search and your job application, it is important you get your passport. And I know in some countries it's taking a long time before you get your passport, but I want to encourage you to apply as soon as possible and get it, because there are some jobs that you apply for, they will need you to send a copy of your passport page. So this is a very important document. The second document you need is a good CV and cover letter. Without a CV, you can't get a job. Like I always say in most of my videos, make sure you have a different CV for different job role you're applying to. I did a video on how to write a good CV and a cover letter. I'm going to be putting the link to that video in the description box. Having a good CV and cover letter, guys, is one of the most important documents you need. Guys, if you've gotten it wrong in your CV and cover letter, there's no way you can get that job. Most of you have been getting, unfortunately, message. One of the reasons could actually be because of your CV and cover letter. So this is one of the most important documents. And guys, don't joke with this, guys. Watch that video. I explained everything. The third document are your certifications. So if you want to get this job or you want to make yourself competitive, you need to do as much courses as possible, and you need to include this in your CV. I also did a video on courses that you can do that can land you a care job, whether you have a health background or not. I'm also going to be putting the link to that video in the description box. When you watch that video, it will give you an idea on the kind of courses you can do that can make you stand out and eventually get that job. The next documents I'm going to be listing are optional. This is dependent on the job you're applying for. There are some jobs that they require you to have them, but most of the times you don't actually need this document when applying for a job. But like I said, it's based on the circumstances. So it's important to check the requirements for the job. So that will determine whether you need this document or not. The first one is an international driver's license. Like I said, it's optional. You're going to be working in a care home. Obviously, an international driver's license is not compulsory. But if you're going to be working in a domiciliary setting or a community setting, the employer will require you to have a driver's license from your home country, okay? The next one is COVID-19 vaccination card. I remember in 2021 and 2022, most employers required this document before you can even get the job. You know, this is an health job, and they wanted to be sure that you are fully vaccinated and you're not at risk, and also at risk to the residents. But recently, I know things has changed. Most employers don't request for this vaccine card, so whether you're vaccinated or not, because the economy has opened, guys, so I understand. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't be vaccinated, guys. And if you have the card, put it on your CV that you're fully vaccinated, okay? The next document, guys, is IELTS UKVI. Guys, I've gotten a lot of questions about this English exam. It is not mandatory you write IELTS before you start applying for a job. Guys, like I said, it's an optional document. This is also dependent on the advertised role. There are some jobs that they advertise that you must have the IELTS or you must have an English proficiency. So it all depends on the job. But generally, guys, most of the times, this is not a mandatory document. So you can start applying for jobs even without writing an IELTS. Just to recap, guys, the mandatory documents needed before you apply for a job are your international passport, your CV, and your cover letter. While the optional documents are your COVID-19 vaccine card, driver's license, and your IELTS UKVI, or any other form of English proficiency. Let's go straight to the documents needed after you've gotten a job. The most important document is your certificate of sponsorship. Guys, this is like the game changer. In your COS, you're going to be needing the name of your employer, your job title, your job code, the sponsor license number, and the reference number. All this important information would be on your COS. I'm going to be putting on the screen how a COS looks like, okay? The next document is to submit a certificate that proves your knowledge of English. Guys, this is where IELTS UKVI is compulsory. If you didn't write it before you got a job, you need to write it after you get a job, because you're going to be uploading this certificate when you're applying for your visa, okay? You can prove your knowledge of English by either writing the IELTS UKVI general version, guys. You don't need to write the academic version. And trust me, guys, don't be scared of this exam. All you need is 5.5. This is achievable, okay? Just study the materials online, do a lot of practice, and trust me, you're going to scale through it. If you can scale through secondary school, scale through university, IELTS is not something that you can do. Trust me, I don't know why most people are scared of writing IELTS. You can also prove your knowledge of English by evaluating your bachelor's degree. You evaluate with ECTIS. It was formerly called NARIC. One good thing about evaluating your degree using ECTIS or NARIC is that it doesn't expire, okay? You can use the certificate for a lifetime, unlike IELTS UKVI that expires after 2 years. So whichever one you choose to do, it's fine, as long as you can prove your knowledge of English. The next important document you need to have after you get your job is your TB certificate. This is very important, especially if you're from Africa, Asia, and most other continents. You need to go through the tuberculosis screening, okay? The next one is a criminal record certificate or a police certificate. This will basically show any crime record you've had. You know, it's a regulated profession and they want to be sure that you're free from crime. Also, if you've lived in any country for up to or more than 12 months when you were 18 years old or older, you need to also show a criminal record certificate from all these countries, okay? The last document you need is a bank statement. The bank statement is actually optional, guys, because this is dependent on what is on your COS, which is certificate of sponsorship. So there's a part of the COS that says tick to certify maintenance. Your employer can either write Y or N. Y means yes, N means no. So when you check that part and you see Y, this simply means your employer is able to cater for you for about a month. They can cater for your feeding or your accommodation for at least a month. But if you check that part in your COS and you see a N means no, so this simply means you need to submit a bank statement, and it's a 1 month bank statement. If you're the principal applicant, you need to have at least £1,270 in your account for 28 days. If you're going to be coming along with your dependents, I mean your spouse or your children, then you need to have £285 for your partner. For one child, you need to also have £315, and for every other children, there is an additional £200 each, okay? And you need to have this money available for at least 28 days in a row. Day 28 must be within 31 days of applying for the visa. This is all the money you're going to be needing in your account. So depending on your family size, you do the calculation to see how much money in total you need for this journey. Like I said earlier, this is dependent on what is written on your COS, okay, whether yes or no. If you want to have a successful visa application, these tips will help you. Number one, guys, is to ensure you have all your mandatory documents required. If you're married, guys, you need to also upload your marriage certificate. If you're also going to be applying for your children, you need to upload a consent letter. I'm going to be putting on the screen how a consent letter looks like, okay? So you need to write out for all the children that will be going with you, as long as they are less than 18 years old. Basically, you write the dates. You write the date of the application, the Consul General, United Kingdom Embassy. Then you write your country. I wrote Nigeria, okay? Dear sir or madam, letter of consent for the name of the child. The full name of the child, guys. So it says here, we hereby confirm that the name of the father, let's say Jonathan Nelson and Florence Nelson, give our consent for the full name of the child to come with us to the United Kingdom. We will be responsible for his or her expenses if it's a boy or a girl. Please find an official birth certificate showing our names as proof of relationship with him or her. Thank you. You write the name of the father and the mother, and both of you will have to sign. You do this for all your children, like I said earlier. Then you attach a copy of the birth certificate. So the birth certificate contains the name of the father and the mother. So that is enough proof to show that you are the parent for the child. We've come to the end of today's video, and I hope you have a clearer picture on the important documents necessary before and after you get a job. Why not support me, guys, by subscribing to my channel, like this video so that YouTube can recommend it to more people, and share it to everyone around you. And guys, don't forget to join the Telegram group. I'm going to be putting the link in the description box. See you guys in my next video.